In these next few clips we'll look at lighting. Around these clips are some excellent tutorials and excellent resources, so I want you to work through all of those to really get a good idea of basic 3-point lighting. So when we talk about 3-point lighting, obviously lighting a film set can be much more complex than this, but if we start with this basic lighting setup, which involves the key light, the fill light and the backlight. This is our basic lighting setup, and this should be more than adequate for any scene to give us a creative lighting style. Again, we might want to add more lights to this in terms of thinking about the type of shoot we've got or the scale of the shoot. However, everything should start and end in terms of 3-point lighting. First of all is our key light. So our key light is our main source of light within the shot, and the key light might often mimic a window or an area where natural light would be coming through. More often than not though, the key light will sit somewhere near the camera. The key light, as I say, is the main source of light in the shot. So this is the main source of light which will light your subjects. In an interview situation, you might just work with 2 key lights, one on each subject. Again, interview situations are something different. And again, in this we're looking at drama, but interviews are great to look at in terms of the way the camera's set up and the way the lights are set up. Most of the time in an interview situation, it will be dark on one side of the face and light on the other. Again, this is very much a creative style and a creative look within interviews and documentaries. Moving on to drama, we still work with our key light, and as I say, this is the main source of light. However, with one key light on, this might give us, a quite dark background. It might cause shadows, but also it might create a hard light across the face, so it will give, deeper and more hard shadows. So if we put to one side, maybe at 45 degrees away from the camera, the fill light, this will just add some fill to the scene, and it'll take away those hard shadows and give some balance to the scene. Again, this needs to be a lot less powerful than a key light. The key light is going to have all the power in the scene, and it's be very directional from that source. The fill light will just be, balancing this out a little bit. So once the fill light is turned on, you shouldn't really need to change your aperture. It shouldn't be giving too much light to the scene. It should just be taking the edge off it a little bit. To move on to the backlight is often, it's very much an underused light, but the background light is important in terms of pulling your character away from the scene. So the background light is often called a halo light, or some people call it halo or hair light, in terms of the backlight isn't there to light the background. The backlight is positioned behind the subject, either high up or low down, and it shines at the back of the subject's head, and what this will give is a slight glow around the side of the subject, which will pull the subject out from the background. And again, it's often called a hair light because it catches in the hair. If you watch any film, if you think about where these lights are positioned, you need to think about the depth within that film, and the backlight is something which will add depth. In terms of your backlight, think about how you're going to position it and be very careful. If you position it too near to the lens, you'll get lens flare and it'll be shown in the lens. So you need to think about the size of your composition, the scale of your composition, and where you can set up your lights. Again, working away from this, what you might start to do then is pick out other lights which light different areas of the shot, depending on what the size and the scale of the shot is, and also background lights, so lights that actually will give light to the background. So the backlight and the background light are 2 different things. So think about this in particular, and the 3-point lighting. This is the key light, the fill light and the backlight. Okay, in the next clip, what I want you to do is watch this clip, think about how these lights work together, and then work through the following clips.